Hey guys, welcome back to the Fight Book. I'm the Indian accent guy, and in this video, we are again going to check what fights are announced in last 2 days because everyone was busy watching and talking about UFC 313 as now the event is in books. So now we can discuss what fights are announced in UFC, outside of the UFC, and in the boxing world, and who called out whom. So without wasting time, let's start. So first, we have some call-outs from after UFC 313. As you know, Ankalaev has beat Alex Pereira, and he is the new light heavyweight champion. He agrees to fight Alex Pereira again. Yes, Dana White's also said in the post-event conference that Alex Pereira versus Magomed Ankalaev 2 is probably next, and Magomed Ankalaev accepts this fight. Jiri Prochazka had also called out Ankalaev, but Ankalaev said that Jiri has to work and win a few fights before, and he also called him a fraud. Next, Dustin Gaethje, after his win over Rafael Fiziev, calls for a title shot, but as we all know, that rumor says Ilya Topuria is getting the lightweight title shot next. But Ilya Topuria has said that his next opponent is yet not confirmed. He said if he was Dan Hooker or Renato Moicano, it would be easy to get a title fight, but as he is Ilya Topuria, so Islam Makhachev is showing hesitancy to accept the fight. Then Mauricio Rafi, who had started UFC 313 card, called out Benil Dariush, and Ignacio Bahamundes, who beats Jalen Turner, called out Hinato Moicano. Then in about UFC 314, as you all know, 314 press conference took place before UFC 313 card. So in that conference, Patricio Pitbull proposes a 1 million bet to Alexander Volkanovski, and Volkanovski didn't accept that fight, but he said didn't accept that bet, but he said to Patricio Pitbull that he would fight him if he gets a good win against Jair Rodriguez at UFC 314. Alexander Volkanovski also said he will fight twice this year after beating Diego Lopes, and one would be Patricio Pitbull and one would be Movsar Evloev. And Movsar Evloev also said he is going to fight for the title next, and he also called out Ilya Topuria and said when he will beat the winner of Diego Lopes versus Alexander Volkanovski for the featherweight title, he will move up and fight Ilya Topuria. Movsar said he doesn't want the lightweight title and he would not campaign for the second belt, but he will move up just to fight Ilya Topuria and to beat him. That's well spirit, but let's see what happens. We have two official fight announcements from the UFC as well, but these two are not that big of a fights, so I don't think anyone gives an F, but still I'm gonna tell you because these are announced for UFC Mexico March 29th card. Gabriel Miranda will face Jamal Emmers, and Austin Hubbard have found a replacement opponent, and that will be Markel Medros. It was first rumored that Nicholas Mota will be his opponent, but that was not true rumor, and now the official announcement is that Austin Hubbard will face Markel Medeiros. Cody Garbrandt is expected to return in May 2025, and his opponent is yet to be announced. Then for UFC 316 card, it was already rumored that it will be a double header where Alexandre Pantoja versus Kai Kara France will take place as the headliner, and in in the co-main event, Juliana Pena will defend her belt against Kayla Harrison, and these two were rumors, and now the rumor says that one of these two fights will move to future cards, and Mirab Dvalishvili versus Sean O'Malley for the bantamweight belt will be the headliner of UFC 316. And again, I'm telling you, this is not official, so let's see what happens, and if it happens or not. Then UFC 317 International Fight Week at T-Mobile Arena on June 28. The first fight, which is also rumored, is Robert Whittaker versus Sean Strickland, but now Anthony Hernandez also called out Robert Whittaker and said that he would love to fight Whittaker or at least Adesanya at International Fight Week at UFC 317. Colby Covington also wants to fight at UFC 317. So let's see he gets that fight or not. And then Charles Johnson also calls out Kai Asakura to fight at UFC 317 at International Fight Week. And then a big news from Dustin Poirier's retirement fight. Beneil Darius says that he has heard that Dustin Poirier's retirement fight will be against Max Holloway. We already knew that Dustin Poirier is going to headline New Orleans Louisiana card, which will take place in July or August, but we didn't knew the opponent, and now we have the first news from Beneil Darius, and he said it will be Dustin Poirier versus Max Holloway trilogy. Then from John Jones versus Tom Aspinall fight, which Dana White said will happen this summer. We have a news from Tom Aspinall, who said that everything is now done from Jones' side as well, and the UFC now have to find a date and a venue. Everything is done, so the good news is coming soon. Now we have a few fights from boxing world as well. Matchroom has announced their event in Sheffield, England for April 19th, headlined by their super lightweight prospect 17-0 Dalton Smith versus 26-2 Matteo Germain. Then for May 18th, Top Ranks card is announced. Yoshiki Takei, who is 10-0, will defend his WBO belt for the second time against Yuta Tong Di, who is 15-0. The co-main event will be another bantamweight title fight where Ryosuke Nishida will defend his IBF bantamweight title against Jose Salas, who is also 15-0. And that's all. Now do whatever you want, because now you're fully updated with the fight world.